My name is Marimo. I'm the acting chief executive officer for the Confederation of Zimbabwe Retailers. So in brief, the Confederation of Zimbabwe Retailers is a retail association that represents the interests and concerns of retailers and wholesalers in Zimbabwe. We are an intermediary between government and the retail and wholesale sector. We have about 1,000 members. Some of our members Mohammed Musa, Ken Keshenkeri, Spa, and Richards, Fazak and Blawayo, and other small to medium enterprises. Okay, first of all, we'd like to thank His Excellency the President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, the Minister of Finance, Economic Development and Investment Promotion, Professor Mtuli Ngube. We'd like to thank also the Minister of State for Economic Affairs for our Metropolitan Province, Honorable Tawengwa, as well as the Governor. So that statement by the Minister came after our plea to government, particularly to His Excellency, highlighting the issues that we're currently facing in the sector, the retail and wholesale sector. So in that statement that we put out, we highlighted that currently the retail and wholesale sector is in a state of crisis, particularly with regards to the policies that are currently in place that are stifling business growth, particularly in our sector. So in that statement, we highlighted the growing levels of informality in the economy that has rendered us uncompetitive in relation to business affairs, the difference between prices, particularly in the informal sector and the formal sector. So, due to the growing levels of informalization, you'd notice that the informal sector is growing at an unregulated rate, and because of that, it's one of the reasons why prices in the informal sector are largely lower as compared to prices in our formal business establishments. So in that statement, we were pleading to government to intervene, to regulate the informal sector, to strike a balance and level the playing field between us and the informal sector, in short. Emanating from fiscal and monetary policies. And in the statement that we made, we highlighted that we are anticipating the announcement of the monetary policy statement because we feel like some of the solutions that we need in our sector are going to be found there. And we are happy that government is enforcing the acceptance of the local currency in the informal sector through the enforcement of the use of point-of-sale machines. I think that's going to go a long way in ensuring that there's widespread acceptability of the SIG in our economy across all sectors. But the other thing is to ensure that the ZIG is also accepted on the manufacturer side, on the supply side of the value chain. And, because currently you find that most supply chains in the value chain, they are dollarized. And while they are dollarized, there are challenges because normally manufacturers are supposed to get foreign currency for their import needs from the Reserve Bank, through their banks, through the foreign currency auction system. But yes, the Reserve Bank has been doing a lot of work in terms of ensuring that manufacturers have access to foreign currency. But like we highlighted a few months back with the Reserve Bank Governor, there are challenges with regards to access to that foreign currency, because there are technicalities involved with the foreign market, foreign exchange market. So what we've been advocating for with government is to ensure that some of these technicalities are streamlined to ensure that manufacturers have adequate foreign currency to meet their import requirements. Yeah. The relationship between the Confederation of Zimbabwe Retailers and the government is long-standing. From our inception in 2013, we've had a great working relationship with the government, particularly our line ministry, that is the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, the Ministry of Finance, the Reserve Bank, and even the Office of the President. As the leading voice of the retail and wholesale sector, we have worked on multiple policies and initiatives to uplift our sector for over a decade now. So our relationship with government is very cordial and long-standing. Okay, so the government for a while has been implementing policies to regulate the informal sector. Some have been effective, some have had very limited impact on regulating the informal sector. But for instance, last year we saw the implementation of the 5% withholding tax, particularly implemented by wholesalers or unregistered SMEs. But this policy has had very limited effect because only a few in the wholesale side have been implementing this policy. So it has really had very limited effect. And it also had very limited enforcement on the part of government. So the additional measures that have been implemented by government to try to regulate the informal sector, we feel it needs more enforcement more than ever. I think on the policy side, the policies are there, but they just lack enforcement. I think on the property side of business, currently, if we look at it, the real estate side of the economy in Zimbabwe is actually flourishing. But looking at the business operations, particularly retail, over the past few years, we've seen a recent trend of buildings being partitioned into smaller portions to accommodate multiple small business owners. Yes, it's a good thing if we look at it from the perspective that us as black people are now business owners, particularly in the CBD, and it's a testament to our empowerment policies as a nation. And that's good. But on the downside, we feel like these initiatives on the real estate side of business, they are facilitating informalization. Where a large supermarket used to occupy that space is being partitioned to occupy 50 small businesses as well on that same property. But when we look at the tax contribution from where the big business used to be to what is being contributed by these small players, you will see that the small players are not contributing much in terms of tax revenue to the government. So our call to government has been to formalize this emerging sector in our economy, these small business owners. And we've been proposing for as government to implement or to benchmark what Tanzania has done in terms of regulating their small business owners through the implementation of a presumptive tax model. I believe in Tanzania, every small trader that trades in Tanzania pays their contribution towards tax. and that's a presumptive tax model. And what we've been advocating for a while now is to streamline some of these regulations because they are a major deterrent to the formalization process. Okay, so just to make some of the issues clear, the challenges that are being currently faced by the retail wholesale sector, some of the issues are long-standing, but the issues have piled and they've accumulated over time, and they've led to this breaking point. And it needs a lot of work to actually bounce back from the situation that we are currently in. And some of the issues are fiscal, some of them are monetary. But on the policy side, what we are currently advocating for, especially on the monetary side, is to actually ensure the enforcement of the acceptance of SIG across the value chain. Because currently, as retailers and wholesalers, we are in a predicament where we are one of the very few sectors that is accepting the SIG, but on the other hand, our supply chains are totally dollarized. So this has really affected our procurement processes. And if you go into the shops, you notice that you have empty shelves in these shops. So if we manage to ensure that the SIG is widely accepted, even on the supply on the manufacturer side, it will really ensure that we recoup from this situation that we're currently in. Okay, yes, our current tax regime is also a challenge to business operations in Zimbabwe, particularly our IMTT tax, that's a fiscal policy. We believe that our IMTT is making it very difficult for businesses to operate efficiently because it's too high. It's one of the highest in the region. And for instance, we're talking to one of our members and they were highlighting that for a simple transaction of 2 million SIG, one loses about 43,000 in charges only because of one IMTT and the excessive bank charges as well. So considering how us retailers and wholesalers operate, we are businesses of very small profit margins, and 43,000 is a lot of money to lose only on bank charges. So it's something that we're kind of advocating for, to say if it's reduced to at least 1%, it will really make a huge difference in helping businesses grow in that sector. Yeah. Okay, so all these challenges that we've been discussing today, they all have a cumulative effect of being a burden to the end consumer and making it life difficult for the ordinary Zimbabwean. And if we look at our prices, we've noticed that from last year, prices of basic goods have gone up by about 40 to 50% in value, and it has been a very big burden to consumers. We've seen consumers coming out to really show their concern with regards to the increase in prices, particularly in the formal retail and wholesale space. And it's all a testament to these challenges that we're facing. But when we look on the other end, prices have remained relatively stable on the informal side of the businesses because they are not operating with the same regulations that formal businesses are operating under. And it's something that we believe that government should really look into and ensure that at the end of the day, the person that benefits is the ordinary consumer. So our last words as the Confederation of Zimbabwe Retailers would be to spread the word of collaboration between all stakeholders. We work very well with our suppliers, our manufacturers, as well as our consumer rights organizations. So our words would be for us all to come together and collaborate to ensure that our businesses grow and our people thrive generally.
Saka hip hop up Chelsea.